Welcome, wealth creatives. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are going to be diving into the Sacred Money Archetypes today, as I said, and I'm really excited to be introducing you to the ruler. So before I dive into the ruler, I just wanted to tell you a little bit more about the Sacred Money Archetype. So what is an archetype? You may have heard me talk about this before. An archetype, really in the simplest of terms, is a pattern of energy that repeats itself. And so because this energy repeats itself over and over, this pattern keeps repeating, we get familiar with it. We get to see the same traits occurring in these archetypes, in these patterns. And then we're able to, I guess, group or classify different archetype types, different energy types. And there are all different types of archetypes in the world. Carl Jung was the first one that introduced us to that term of archetype. And there are many different types of archetypes for all different areas of your life as well. So the Sacred Money Archetypes is just one of the classifications or areas where we have a look at archetypes, but it's one at Laura Elkaslassy Co that we absolutely and fully embrace, and there's a very good, amazing reason for that. The insight that the Sacred Money Archetypes gives our clients into money, it's just phenomenal. What it does is to be able to understand money on a greater level. I want to ask you a quick question. Who taught you about money? Where did you learn about money? Now, if you're fortunate enough, you possibly got told or taught or mentored in money. But for a majority of us, we learned about money around the dinner room table, or we learned about money overhearing hushed conversations our parents were having or our friends' parents were having. It was something that wasn't openly talked about, and it was quite taboo. And so we grew up, majority of us, with this not huge understanding about money, but still just sort of fumbling our way along. And through these learnings or through this journey, we didn't get to discover the full aspect, all the different aspects of money. And one of the main big aspects of money, obviously, is the energy as well. And so at Laura Elkaslassy Co, we're here to have a bigger conversation. We're here to talk about money at that greater, deeper level. And that has to include the energetic side of money. Yes, we have to take that into consideration. We have to talk about it. We have to welcome that in and get that deeper understanding and know that money is more than just those notes and coins. It's more than the numbers in your bank account. It's more than what's sitting in your purse and your wallet. It's more than just the physical. And so it really is that understanding and that invitation to welcome in another side of money or a greater, deeper understanding of it, which, as I say, is really exciting when we get to dive deep into it. So as I said, at Laura Elkaslassy Co, we are money mentors. We are money mentors for purpose-led entrepreneurs, but we are money mentors with a difference. And as I said, we take a whole holistic approach to money mentoring, to being able to accelerate your wealth, to be able to expand your wealth. We understand and we know that it cannot just be the practical, it cannot just be the strategy. There is 3 fundamental pillars that all business, all entrepreneurs must embrace and work with to fully align with what their goals are, what their wealth goals are. So those pillars that we work with at Laura Elkaslassy is the energy, and it is profitability, and it is strategy. So we know that strategy and energy need to go together, and that builds the profitability, and we must have a focus on all of those 3 areas in our business, in our life, to really be able to have the wealth, have the growth, have that freedom that we truly desire. Yeah, because it is all available. It is all available. We just need to be willing to take that step. So as I said, today we are meeting the ruler of the Sacred Money Archetypes. The Sacred Money Archetypes you may have heard of before. They were created by Kendall Summerhawk. And why these, as I said, these Sacred Money Archetypes are so exciting, and why I'm so excited to tell you about the ruler. As I said, Sarah, you said you're the ruler. It's so freaking amazing you are here. Because when we can understand our Sacred Money Archetype, it's like cracking our money code. Yeah, it's like the ahas, the lights that go on, it's the information. It's like, oh, that makes so much sense. No wonder I've been doing this, or no wonder that's the decision I made, or no wonder that's how I feel when I make money. Like the ahas that happen when I take my clients through understanding their sacred money archetype, it is just, as I said, it's monumental. And that's why I'm so excited just to be giving you a glimpse of who the ruler is and what the ruler stands for. But of course, there is not just the ruler when we talk about sacred money archetypes. We have 8 different sacred money archetypes. The ruler is just the very first one I'm introducing you to. But if you check out our events on our Facebook page, you will see that over the next 3 weeks, I will be introducing you to all 8 of the sacred money archetypes, starting obviously today with the ruler. Tomorrow we have the accumulator. And then we are going to be meeting the maverick, the celebrity, the connector, the nurturer, the alchemist, and the romantic. So that will happen, as I say, we've got today and tomorrow, and then next week and the week after as well. So taking through those 3 weeks of November, getting to meet the glorious, glorious archetypes and getting to understand them at that deeper level. As I said, if you're just joining, let me know, say hello, and also let us know who your sacred money archetype is, if you know who they are. As I said, if you don't, it's okay as well. You should be able to see the link in the comments, which will show you, take you to where you can find out who your sacred money archetype is. Okay, let me just check the comments as we're going. As I said, if you are... Okay. Oh, amazing. We've got Amanda here. Yeah, Sarah, you're right. Technology is such a pain. And so especially when I thought I had Brooke proofed it and then it was all working before because it was working beautifully. Oh, so you're here with us as well, Amanda. Let us know if you know who your sacred money archetype is. And yes, that would be amazing. Amazing. Okay, beautiful. Let's jump back in to it. Back over to my side that you can't see. So today we are going to be talking all about the ruler. So the ruler is your inner empire builder. And I want you just to sit with that for a minute. Just sit and feel those words, hear those words. The ruler is your inner empire builder. And just to let your imagination, let your thoughts, let the words start to pour in about what the ruler really could be and stand for, that inner empire builder. Just allow the energy of the ruler to begin to arrive. As I said, it doesn't matter whether the ruler is in your top 3 or not. It really doesn't matter. You can still allow that energy of the ruler to come in. You can still allow yourself to feel and witness and understand the ruler. So inner empire builder. Yeah? What are you conjuring up? Perhaps you may even have images of people or names that make you think of someone who is in that ruler archetype. Yeah, and that's, as I said, one of the reasons why it's amazing, even if you're not a ruler, to get to listen and hear what the ruler is about, because you get to start to witness these archetypes in people around you as well, and you get to understand them at a deeper level too. So I said the ruler is our inner empire builder. Yes, our ruler is that leader. They are that person who is willing and has that fire in their belly and has that drive to create. Yes, they want to create a legacy. They have these dreams and these ideals and they want to create it. They want to bring it to life. They have a purpose and they're so driven to build that empire, to build and leave their legacy and to create and to absolutely function and bring their business and their dreams into reality. So they love to strive and they love to challenge themselves as well. So you will find the ruler, they're not someone who will particularly stay quiet when they have a thought that they wish to communicate and share. Often, as I said, you will find the rulers in that leadership position because they can't sit quiet. Like if they've got something they want to share, it is like that burning within them. There is like that fire to share and to grow and to express and to lead. So they just love that. It's just that essential part of the ruler is that leader. And the ruler is ambitious as well. Like that pretty much goes hand in hand with the leader. Yes, they're ambitious, as I was talking about. They want to grow, they want to create. So they are naturally ambitious people. This can go hand in hand though with also being stubbornly determined, because they are so ambitious, because they want to create, because they want to lead. They can be. I'm not saying all rulers are, but they can be at times stubbornly determined because, as I say, they've got that fire and they want to create and they want to bring that vision to life. And so that's where that determination comes in, where that ambition goes hand in hand with determination. Our rulers are also the visionary. Yes, as I said, they have this vision, they have this deep yearning to create. But as the visionary, what they actually do as well is that they have their vision so often though on their future goals. They are constantly striving, they're constantly chasing, they're constantly moving towards their goals. And that is why they are that visionary, continually moving and chasing down their dreams. I guess the downside or the hardest side about that for the ruler is because they are constantly that visionary, because they are constantly chasing their vision, is they can sometimes forget to stop and appreciate where they are now, or even to appreciate how far they've come. The rulers are always moving and wanting to meet that vision, and that invitation is always there for the ruler, and to be reminded to stop and appreciate the moment, appreciate where you are, appreciate and understand exactly what you've already accomplished, and to give that gratitude, to allow yourself to go, oh my God, yes, look at what I have. Yes, this is what my vision is. This is what I'm chasing, but also look what I've already accomplished. Like, how freaking phenomenal is that? Sorry, bear with me 2 seconds. I'm going to check the comments. You might have seen my light. One of my lights has just gone out, so I'm hoping you can still see me okay. Let me have a quick check of the comments. Tech's loving me at the moment, can't you tell? Oh, beautiful. Amanda is the alchemist. Oh, yes. So cool. Amazing. Yes. Sorry, don't worry, just double checking. All can be said. I checked the comments and forgot to check. You can see me all right. Oh my goodness. This is where, when I'm having tech issues, this really is where my energetic side really supports me. In case you may have seen me just stopping and taking some deep breaths and really just calming and allowing my energy to be okay. That the fact that my light's gone out and I can't share screen, and I now actually can't even get back to the page where the Facebook screen is. So at any moment, at any time, we can still cultivate that energy state. We can still move our vibration. We are always in charge of how we feel in our feeling state. And it can be regardless of that external situation, that external circumstance. So just a little reminder in there as well for you. Okay, beautiful. So yes, our ruler is that inner empire builder, and you may be aware, if you are the ruler, or as I said, you know a ruler, of that inner fire that I'm talking about that ambition, about that, like, sometimes stubborn determination to create. And why are others not seeing what I'm seeing? Like, why am I having to fight so hard for this creation at times? Again, if that's you, let us know. If you are nodding away, if you know someone who is like that. And as I said, this is a general overview of the ruler. When we work one-on-one, or when I work one-on-one with my clients, we go deeper into a personalized reading of the ruler, or of your sacred money archetype, whichever one it is. So yeah, the visionary of the ruler is always in that future. So the ruler is that invitation just to come on back to the present, and to see and to witness and to appreciate all that they have created already. But what about money? Yes, what about the ruler and money? So the ruler can be quite conservative with their spending, and this can be, it's an amazing thing that they have that conservative side. But the one thing that can sometimes, I guess, rock that boat of that conservativeness is if something is going to show status. Yeah, the ruler can be known to go and spend that little bit of extra money if it's going to increase their status, make them feel, I was going to say more powerful, but it's just being able to make them feel like that energetic increase, that status. So that is where one of the places of the ruler can spend their money, if it is something that is going to go and bring a status or a status symbol. And again, if that is resonating with you or someone you know who's a ruler, let me know in the comments. So the strengths of our ruler, of our glorious ruler. The sacred strengths of the ruler they are courageous, as I said before. They are courageous. They are creating an empire where everyone thrives. Yet they have this vision. They are a visionary. Yeah, they are innovating new and exciting growth opportunities. Yeah, and this is also in business and it's also in money. Yes, so they are continually looking at those innovating new ways that they can grow their wealth, that they can grow their business, and not just for themselves either. It's not just for the ruler. It is also for the greater collective. As I said, there's that vision that they are going and moving towards, and that vision is not just a solitary thing. It really is a collective thing. So they want to build an empire where everybody thrives. That's that courage, and it does need courage to be able to walk that path. Yes, to say, this is what I believe, this is a vision I have, and I am going to bring it into reality. And that brings us to the third sacred strength of the ruler. They are determined, as we've spoken about before. They love being decisive, yet they can make decisions. And they create value. Yes, that determination is really it sometimes can be frustrating value for one of perhaps a different sacred money archetype that's working with the ruler, but really it is one of their strengths. So the sacred strengths of the ruler is that courage, it is that visionary, and it is that determination. Again, if you are the ruler or know a ruler, let me know if this is resonating with you. And I also wanted to say about the sacred money archetypes, if you have found who your sacred money archetype is at the moment, they do change as well. So because, say, perhaps like Sarah, your top archetype is the ruler at the moment, it doesn't mean that you'll be that ruler for the rest of your life either. It may be that you have brought the ruler in if you are creating and striving or building your business, or like you have that vision of what you want to create, and so you've called that energy of the ruler in as well. And so we can have different archetypes, different sacred money archetypes coming in and being that main archetype of our life during the different phases as well, which is also why it's very beneficial to get to hear about all of the different sacred money archetypes. So each of our sacred money archetypes also has a sacred money contract. And I want you to take this sacred money contract of the ruler in, and if you are safe to do so, I'm going to actually even just invite you to close down your eyes so you can feel this sacred money contract. I want you just to hear the words, and as I said, especially if you are the ruler, just seeing what resonates. If anything feels good, if anything feels like just allow yourself to witness and feel your body's reaction. You may feel called, if your eyes are closed, to put your hand upon your heart center, but do whatever feels right for you. There is no right or wrong in any of this work that I do, that we do here. So the sacred money contract of the ruler, it is to innovate, achieve, and empower wealth with grace and ease. So that is, again, to innovate, achieve, and empower wealth with grace and ease. So if you are the ruler and listening to that, there may be a part of that sacred money contract that you're like, yes, yes, yes. And then another part that you're going, yeah, I'm not really sure. So to put you out of your misery and to let you know what is actually happening with this sacred money contract, the beginning part of the ruler sacred money, the sacred money contract is something that really does resonate with the ruler, and that is to innovate, achieve, and empower wealth. Like the ruler's like, yes, that's absolutely me. The bit that is a bit harder for the ruler, and the really, I guess the part of the sacred money archetype of the ruler that is the invitation to expand into, is to do that with grace and ease. Yes, as a ruler, as a ruler myself, I know the capacity to do things with grace and ease doesn't always go hand in hand. It always feels like, because you're striving, because you're determined, because you're growing, because you're creating, it's like move, 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 go, go, go. It's that strive, it's that determination. And when someone says you can do that with grace and ease, the ruler's like, what? No, we've got to keep moving, we've got to keep working. So the sacred money contract for the ruler is to innovate, achieve, and empower wealth with grace and ease. And so that is the, I was going to say, the secret of the ruler, and to really embrace the ruler. It's not a secret. I guess it's the work that there is for the ruler to do, is to understand that they can innovate and achieve and create that wealth, and they can do it with grace and ease. That is okay. And a lot of the time when I work with rulers, that is one of those deep fears. Yes, it's that deep fear that I have to work hard for money, that I have to yeah, that's the main one. I have to work hard for money. It can't come with that grace and ease. It is always that striving, that working, work. And so that really is one of those deep fears that I work with quite regularly with a ruler sacred money archetype. So as you can imagine, with the ruler, from what I've told you already about the ruler, there is some challenges, and I'm sure these will not be a surprise to you at all when I talk to you about what their challenges are. I'm just going to have a quick drink of water though as I do. I said, let me know, said in the comments, anything that's resonating as well, anything you want to share too. So the challenges with the sacred money archetype of the ruler is this inner restlessness they can have. And this restlessness is, it causes a challenge of them actually just switching off. For the ruler to stop, for the ruler actually just to clock off work and go out and put their mind on something else. The ruler is constantly going, constantly thinking, constantly creating, constantly moving and working towards that vision. And they don't have a very good balance often. And again, these are all generalizations of the ruler at the moment. So as I said, if you when we work one-on-one, it's more of a personalized understanding, but in general, the ruler, has a very hard time creating harmony between the work-life balance. Often that business, that career, that's what dominates their time, that's what dominates their attention, that's what dominates their energy. And so that is the challenge for the ruler, is to be able to stop and to bring some harmony in. Yes, to bring that awareness, to actually not have their laptop on their lap, on the couch at night time. Can you tell I was talking about me? When they're not meant to be working. I didn't even realize I was doing that. It's only been the last 2 years that I stopped, and I'm 43. So for the last 20 odd years of my life as an entrepreneur, I've been working at my desk till a certain amount of time, to a certain hour, then I've been clocking off, and then in the evening I've actually been working on my laptop at night time. And that's part of that ruler energy, that ruler archetype, is that challenge to switch off, that challenge for it to be okay to rest. And again, that comes in with that fear that we've got to work hard for money. Yes, we've got to keep working. The other challenge that the ruler has is satisfaction. Yeah, the satisfaction of having enough. The ruler is, as I said, we've talked about, constantly striving, but what happens there is it's never enough for the ruler. They're always chasing a new goal. And even if they reach that goal they had, they've already forgotten that's what they were wanting, and they've got a new one. It doesn't matter how much they get done, how much they accumulate, what goals they hit. There's always another one. There's always a bigger one. There's always a greater challenge there for them. And so it just never feels enough. So again, you just don't get that satisfaction, which then can lead back into that restlessness we talked about. So the challenge for the ruler really is about bringing balance in. Having a look. And it may be for the ruler that you just document your time on how long you're actually working in different phases of your life. Like, how long do you actually work on your business, or how long are you working in your career, and how long are you actually doing free time or personal life, and actually being able to document it, because that can be quite an eye-opener for the ruler when they do that and they're like, oh my goodness, I didn't realize I was spending so much time doing this. So the ruler can find it a struggle to really indulge in life in the moment. As I said, always moving for that present, always chasing that moving money target. So yeah, that is a challenge absolutely for our rulers. I'm going to just double check back, see if there's any other comments. We got some nodding going on. Sarah, you're pretty much reading my biography. I love that. Yes, isn't it? And that's why it's so amazing to be able to dive into these archetypes, because it's the patterns that repeat itself over and over. And that's, you know, as I said, ruler through and through over here. And it's taken understanding these archetypes at this deeper level to really go, oh my goodness. So yes, the ruler. So yeah, they are the challenges of the ruler. Really is to get that balance, bring that balance in. And that's the work we do, yes. When we work with these at Laura Elkaslassy Co, with the Sacred Money Archetype work that we do, it is all about seeing the strengths and the challenges of your archetype, and then being able to bring them back into balance. Yeah, seeing where that balance is at and bringing them back into balance. So to create that sacred money alignment for the ruler, there is a few little questions that I would love you to think about and consider. And because you can't see my beautiful screen, I'm just going to copy these and pop them into the comments so you can come back to these at a later stage. Get back to that screen. That one, please. There we go. Okay, so these are the questions that I would love you to just think about and consider. You may like to even journal on them at a later stage. But these questions are what will help bring in that alignment, money alignment. So I've just popped them in the comments there for you, but I will read them out. And so spend some time just considering these questions, yes? So as a ruler, is there a dream you've kept a secret? Yeah, maybe in fear you'll look arrogant or be judged as being too big for your britches, or you won't be able to accomplish it. So even though the ruler has that drive and that inner fire, that burning desire and that determination, they can also be keeping an aspect of that dream quiet as well. So which is why sometimes you'll find that determination in the ruler, they'll be pushing one aspect, because actually the other aspect that they really want to bring to life is, it scares them itself. It's just even too big for them. So they push and they strive for this other area that they know will be welcomed, and and other people will agree and be easier to pass by others. So is there something, if you were a ruler, is there a dream if you've kept secret? And it might not even be kept secret, that you've kept hidden, and it may be a dream that you've kept hidden that even so well for yourself that you've forgotten it. Yeah. And so, which is why I encourage you after any stage this afternoon, tomorrow, over the weekend, just spend some time in that stillness and silence and just keep asking yourself, what actually do I dream? What is there a dream that I have that actually is quite big? Like, if I could do anything, if I could pull anything out of a hat, what would it be? And just see if there's something there. The second question I would love you to consider at some stage, or invite you to consider, is if you were challenged to create your life's wealth within the next year, what would you let go of and what would you embrace? And these questions, even though they are for the ruler, for the sacred money alignment of the ruler, they are also just as important, or can be just as eye-opening to the other archetypes as well. So if you're hearing these questions, know that you're hearing them for a reason. Allow yourself to sit in there, because that's, if you are challenged to create your wealth, your life's wealth within the next year, what would you let go of? Yeah. And what would you embrace? When we have that pressure and time, especially for the ruler, when the ruler has that time pressure, and they begin, it's like that brings their clarity, like, oh my God, that is wasting my time, that is wasting my time, that's not enough sales, this is actually the bigger service that I want to bring out, this is what I want to serve with, this is what I want to do. So yeah, let that just sit and percolate with you for a while. And then to help bring that balance in for our ruler, for our dear ruler that we said is a challenge to have that balance, is what are 10 things you'd like to do in life purely for the fun of it? Now I've got to put hands up. This one, I was like, 10? You want me to find 10 things? But yes, at least 10 things you'd like to do, that you like to do purely for the fun of it. It cannot, I'm going to put a little caveat in there, cannot be related to business. You can't say, I love doing sales calls. That one doesn't count. So yes, 10 things you would love to do in life just for the fun of it. And this is really allowing and supporting the ruler to come back into that alignment. Yes, it's about embracing those strengths and seeing the challenges and bringing them back into harmony together. So I want to share with you also, each of the sacred archetypes has an empowering money mindset, and we're actually getting to the end of learning about the ruler. So if you do have any questions, pop them in the comments and I'll come to questions next. But I want to share with you the empowering money mindset for the ruler. And so this money mindset is still stretching. It's going to stretch your new truth. Yeah, it's going to stretch you a little bit. But again, it is that reminder that it doesn't happen instantly, but it is a continual process. We are continually working and creating and moving. So just allow that to be welcomed in as well at that level. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect. But this is the empowering money mindset for the ruler. I fulfill my destiny by achieving prosperity and leadership with grace and ease. Once more, that grace and ease is in there. And so that money mindset, that mantra, if you like, can be something for the ruler to embrace, that I fulfill my destiny by achieving prosperity and leadership with grace and ease. With grace and ease. So that is the empowering money mindset of the ruler. As I said, this was, well, my apologies. I thought I was only going to do like a quick 15-minute overview, but mind you, I did have 15 minutes of tech issues. It's gone about half an hour information, so it has gone a bit longer than I was thinking it would do. So thank you for hanging out with me if you've hung out this whole time. As I said, where to next then? If you're a ruler and this is built like that, burning like within you, and you're like, yes, I want to know more, it makes sense, I'm getting the ahas, I'm not like, I get it. Or even, as I said, the ruler may not be your top one, maybe in your top 3, or you may be noticing who around you is a ruler, just through this pattern that I've talked to you about, and you want to go further, you want to understand deeper, then I really would love to invite you to join me over the next 3 weeks to discover and hear about all of the different sacred money archetypes. As I said, each one holds their own gifts, their own strengths, but even just knowing about them, understanding them, we get to see and understand money from that external vision. We get to take a step back out of life. We get to understanding the archetypes means we don't take it so personally, yeah? Because we can step back and we can see, oh, that's why that decision was made, because that's the archetype of whatever it is coming through, or that's your ruler there, or that's my ruler that's decided to make that make that decision. Okay, what do I need? So join me, as I said, over the next 3 weeks. If you check out our events, every one of these Sacred Money Archetype talks is as an event, so you can hit the going button, so then you'll get reminders and you won't miss them. You can pretty much set and forget. There is also a Sacred Money Archetype program coming out as a self-paced program, and it's one where you'll get all the information about the archetypes, how to use them, the information we need. So there is a wait list at the moment. If you are interested in jumping on that wait list, I believe the link is also in the comments. Jump on that wait list. And the wait list obviously is going to get a little bit of an early access and a bit of a sneak peek special before anyone else. So jump on that wait list so you get that. And if you just are ready, if you just want to know about how these archetypes are creating the financial life, or creating the financial decisions really in your life, I can also invite you to come and spend 3 months with me in a Sacred Money Archetype one-on-one coaching. And that is where we really do dive in, not just your top archetype, but your top 3 archetypes, your bottom archetype. We have a look at money and your money fears and understand why there's those glass ceilings on areas, and whether that's your business sales, whether that's your salary, or whatever the areas are. And it really is a glorious space to understand and know yourself and know money at a deeper level. I will pop, I'm not sure if that link is in on the pinned one, but I will put that in if it's not. Fans only page. So yeah, let me know if you've got some questions, pop them in the comments for me. Yeah, definitely not a fans only page, Amanda. And I'll just quickly grab that link for you. As I said, it's the Sacred Money Archetypes. They're just the information of the ahas. As you said, Sarah, you're reading my biography. Yeah, that's what it feels like. It really does feel like that when we are going through the Sacred Money Archetypes. I'm just going to quickly grab the link for if you want to come and work with me for 3 months, discovering all about them. But yes, this month, as I said, is all about the Sacred Money Archetypes, and being able to embrace the Sacred Money Archetypes moving into this new calendar year. I know I'm talking about 23 already. I know. Yeah, it really is powerful to be able to embrace them and to understand them, and to be able to really take that energy, the Sacred Money Archetype energy, into the next financial year, next calendar year. So yes, let me know. Any questions, beautiful people? Michelle, Sarah, Amanda. Seeing who else is on. Anyone else? Let me know. Amanda, my archetypes are all close together. That's very interesting. And is that just recently you did that quiz, Amanda? I'm just going down to the comments. Oh my goodness, it keeps taking me. There's not much between my alchemist and the next 4 on the list. Cool. Yeah, so that's what we will dive into in that 3 months, which is why when we're here, we're looking at the overview of all the different archetypes one at a time, because they are so unique, so they are so different to each other. But also in that 3 month one-on-one, it is really having a look at that, because there is, like, I've seen this quite a few times actually just recently, people have with very similar archetype in that top sort of 3, 4, 5. So yeah, it is being able to really look, and we go through a process to work out which ones really are in that space with you. Let's see, so my comments keep jumping back. Okay, so Manny did it when it first came out. Yep. Yeah, so as I said, it does move as well, depending on where we are in our own life as well, and where we're finding ourselves. Just by making one different answer on one of the questions, can change all the archetypes. And as I said, they're not meant to be set. Archetypes are not meant to go, okay, well, these are your ones forever. It is that it's energy, yes? And our energy moves, our energy flows, our energy expands and creates and changes. So yeah, it's really is a continually evolving process of who our archetypes are. But yeah, it's as I said, it's actually quite interesting when someone and a client comes and they've got quite a few similar, quite a few close together with their top ones and even their bottom ones as well. Cool. So any more questions, beautiful ones? Otherwise, we might. So I'm just doing this because I'm thinking I'm just going to see if there is anything from the actual but seeing if the ruler archetype, that sacred money archetype of the ruler, if there is anything that they want to commune as well at this moment with all of you here who are live, all of you who watch the replay. And it doesn't matter when you hear this message from the ruler, like it doesn't matter whether you hear this next year. When you hear it, is the exact time. It's the exact time you should be hearing this message. And again, it doesn't matter whether your ruler's in the top or in the bottom or nowhere near. You can still benefit and receive from the ruler. So I'm just going to see if there's any word, like a word that she wants to leave with you, or the energy of the ruler wants to leave with you. And the word that just keeps repeating is commitment. Commitment, commitment, commitment. And the ruler, it's like there is that, and the energy of the ruler is like there is commitment, passionate, fierce commitment to so much outside of yourself. There is so much commitment, such fierce protectiveness of that outside of yourself. Where is the commitment to self? Come back to that commitment to self. Bring that balance. So yes, that's the ruler. That's the one word the ruler is calling and leaving, wants to leave with you, is commitment. And it's commitment for us as rulers, whether you're a ruler or not. As soon as we hear the word commitment, so often it's like, okay, commitment to work, commitment to creation, commitment to this. But actually the ruler is saying, okay, well, let's have a look. Where in your life are you not committed? Where in your life do you need to recommit to, and allow yourself to do that? Okay, lovely ones. I can't see any more comments or questions, so I'm going to tie it up because I have been a bit further than over the 15 minutes as I thought I would be. But if you have any questions, if you're watching this in a replay, put your questions in the comments. I will come back and answer them. And I will be back tomorrow. Come and check out the accumulator. The accumulator is, the inner banker. Your inner banker, the accumulator. So come and find out all about the accumulator tomorrow. And I will see you then. Bye for now.